Welcome back, Below Average Wild Camper. I'm Stephen, back out for a bit more adventure, and this time I'm out with my father, who you've met before, I think. Well, if you looked at my videos before, you've met him. So we came down yesterday, Sunday, camped at Sykeside campsite, which is over there in the camper van. I got up the crack of dawn, did a fell run up top of that Wainwright there, and then back around and whatnot. Anyway, so the plan today is we're going to do a wild camp. So it's 10 o'clock Monday morning, no one about. We've hit a nice little spot of weather, so we're going to go to get the Grisedale Tarn, and then we're going to camp for the night. Before setting off though, we checked Dave's life insurance policy, because my mum would like a new kitchen, and you never know. I've been trying to get me pack a bit lighter, but we've had to throw caution to the wind here, and I'm taking up my Trangia stove set, so we're going to have a bit of a slap up dinner when we get up there. So I've got some steak and potatoes and onions and mushrooms and that. So we're going up. I should have remembered the name, but we're basically going to go vertically up that, and then around up there towards Grisedale Tarn. Anyway, I've already been up a hill once to blunt my legs, so I don't leave Dave behind too much. Started with wet feet already because I'm in my trail runners again. I much prefer walking in them. Right, anyway, we'll bring you back when it gets exciting, eh? So the first climb, well, the main climb to get up there is right behind us, High Hartsop Dodd, and from here that looks pretty steep. What do you think, Dave?
Looks brutal.
But I think, and then our packs, we've got 17 kilograms in each pack. But like I said, we've got like cans of pop, and Dave's got beer, steak.
A kilogram of ribeye steak.
Aye. So it's our own fault. So we're not exactly ultralight. It's just as well we're both as fit as you can get. Eh, Dave?
Fit as butcher's dogs.
Right. Well, let's get on with it, eh? We've had to have 5 minutes. We're just over halfway up High Hartsop Dodd, which is the first Wainwright of the day, and as my dad's just pointed out, he seems to be dripping like a defective fridge. Is that the terminology? Is that what they used to use down the pit?
That's it, yes.
Aye, defective fridge. But we're having a great time, aren't we, Davey?
Yes, we are.
Whew.
And the weather's really good.
So behind
I
us,
think we might save it a bit fog when we get right to the top.
you can see over Dave's head, the tops are actually hidden really. And behind my, over the top of my head, looks like the top. But I've got a sneaky suspicion it's not the top, because it never works out like that. Anyway, I'll not bore you any further, I'll bring you back in a bit. So that's Little Hart Crag there, which I think's a Wainwright. So that's our second marker point. I can't remember the next one.
Is this the highest point?
I'm not even sure. Dave's already been on the deck.
Mm-hmm.
He had a bit of a roll around.
A stumble.
You might have seen him trying to vandalise the top of the cairn as well, just pushed the last rock off. Anyway, as you can see, we've got absolutely no view. So it's a little bit American Werewolf in London, isn't it, Dave?
Yeah.
Anyway, when it gets when we get towards the tarn, I'll bring you back, because I don't think the views are going to be worth looking at. So see you in a bit. Again, I don't know if you can hear this because it's a bit of a breeze. I've got my dead cat on, but anyway, we've got to Dove Crag. We're knackered, I think it's fair to say.
Yeah.
So we're going to sit down, have some lunch, courtesy of Liz. I think we've got egg mayonnaise and bacon, which should be nice.
Make us nice and thirsty.
And have a few cans of pop. And then, well, that's you can't really see it, but that's Dove Crag. And then next stop's Hart Crag. But to be honest, there's now to see, so I think we'll probably I'll just bring you back when we get to Grisedale Tarn, because we're tired. Anyway, let's have some sandwiches. Right, well, we've got the Grisedale Tarn eventually, and it's 4 o'clock, so obviously...
And it's so misty we can't even see it.
Can't really see it. We had a brief glimpse of it when we went over the stepping stones. It was a bit of a stressful journey here, where the descent, but we're not going to that because my mum might not let them back out. We've put the tents up. It's boggy all around. I think we've got the only two non-boggy areas. Obviously, I've just filmed it so you saw it, and it went without too much faffing on. So anyway, battery's going to die, so I'm going to charge my phone and then get cleaned up, get changed, and then start the dinner and that. So, see you in a bit. Kettle's on. So, unpacked. Got some snacks here. Dirty, clean, wet stuff here. Sleeping bag, down jacket. Trangia on. Alcohol, water. All ready to go. Dave's still faffing on.
Yeah.
He's just toying his cup because I'm going to make him a coffee. Right, when I start cooking the main meal, I'll try and film it properly so you can see how good a chef I am. Right, we're settled in. We're both in my tent because mine's got a bit more room. Mine's the Taji 2 from 3FUL gear. Dave's just got like a Helm compact one, which is good and solid, but it's a bit cramped, isn't it, Dave? Yeah. So, we're going to cook some nice dinner. So what's on the menu? We're going to fry off some onions and potatoes and mushrooms, and then put them to one side. And then we're going to cook a ribeye steak, cover that in foil, let it rest while I refresh the onions and mushrooms and potatoes, and then jobs are good, eh?
Mm-hmm.
So,
and I'll be having a nice little Elvis juice.
Dave's got some Elvis juice. I've just got some pop in that. And then we've got the dessert.
Chocolate pudding.
I've put it somewhere, I can't find it, but we've got, oh, that's it. Chocolate pudding. Right. So, I'll reposition the camera.
And we've got plenty of time.
We've got plenty of time. It's only 10 to 6. Can't really walk around. It's really misty to the point where you get wet, don't you?
It's like a very fine drizzle.
Right. So like I said, I'm going to reposition the camera so you can see me pans, and we'll probably like shorten it up in the video so you're not watching the whole thing. Otherwise that would be a bit dull, wouldn't it? Right. We'll get cracking with this then. So, onions in first. The longer you cook the onions in anything, the better. Little pinch of salt helps to bring the water out a bit quicker. Right, so I've put a lid on these onions just to sweat them off, and now I'll take the lid off and we'll start to get a bit of colour on them. Like I said, the longer you cook the onion, the sweeter they become. It's all in the time of the onions, I reckon. Right, these onions are looking good. But I think what we'll do is we'll put the mushrooms in now with the onions and cook them out. I think we've lost a mushroom. Dave, can you reach that mushroom? And you can hide in.
Yeah, there we go. It's one side.
Oh, it doesn't matter. No, if you can't see it, it's all right. It's all right. It's okay.
I can see it.
Right. So, mushrooms are in. Once these are done, we'll take these out, put them in a pot to keep warm, and then we'll saute, not fry, we'll saute the potatoes. Alright. Starting to smell nice, this.
Certainly is.
Until
I didn't feel particularly hungry until we started getting a few smells about, and now I am feeling hungry.
right, that'll do. So, Dave, put that pot on there. Next thing, potatoes. I put a tiny bit more oil in this pan.
Maybe a bit salt.
Some salt. Yeah.
You can tell you where the Kirkstone College, can't you?
Right. I've got an NV. I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but I've got an NVQ level 1 in well, cooking really. And you can tell.
Oh, definitely. And I've got an NVQ in beer drinking. That's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to open another one.
Dave's on the Elvis juice.
I've only got 2 cans. And I'm going to drink them early, so I can get all my weighing done before I get to bed.
I brought up an empty 2-pint milk carton so I can weigh in it in the night.
Oh,
anyway,
enough of
weighing because this is the kitchen. Anyway, I'll bring you back when these have got a bit of nice colour on them. Right, these potatoes have got a bit of colour on them. They're already cooked, they're just tinned potatoes, which I love actually. So now I'm going to decant them into, with the mushrooms and the onions. And we'll let them rest with the lid on. When the steak's resting and it's done, we'll then put these back on the heat. Right, so put some more alcohol in. Pan a bit hot. Let's get this steak in. Look at that, man. It's double thickness, so we just cook it once and then we'll half it, you know. I'll have the big half. That pan's clearly not hot enough, but it's a ribeye, so as it builds up, it'll melt all that fat. So I think that's not such a bad thing, to be honest. So I think I'll put the lid on it and take the lid off once I can hear it sizzling. Right, you can hear it's the pan's, well, the alcohol stove's blooming now, so the pan's getting a bit hot, so we've got a bit of noise going on. So I'm going to just salt this side, and when I turn it, I'll salt the other side. I like a lot of salt. I don't know about Dave, but this needs a lot of salt because it's a big old bit of steak. Plus, like I said, we've checked his life insurance policy.
I haven't got one.
He hasn't got one, he says. Please forget that kitchen. Or the bungalow on Dairy Lane Estate. So we've got the steak resting, and now we're just refreshing the potatoes and that.
Sorry.
Right, Dave's gonna half this steak now. Like I said, I'm getting the big half.
yours.
Right, yeah. Lovely.
You want the juices on?
Yeah, pour the juices on. Here, just
No,
here, hold on.
no, it's all right.
Bit of pan sauce. Right. Now I reckon those potatoes are warming up. Right.
Put your water in the
Right, we're going to eat it. I'm not going to make you watch us eat it. But that is steak, sautéed potatoes, onions and mushrooms. Job's a good one. Get the water on now for the chocolate pudding. Right, well we've had our steak and that was one of the best steaks I've ever had. Probably to do with just eating it out in the fresh air and whatnot, but it was very nice. Now we've got the chocolate puddings on to boil. Once I've had this, probably going to kick Dave out and have a wee and then get tucked up in bed. Do you enjoy your tea, Dave?
Lovely. I'm stuffed. I might just have some room for that chocolate pudding.
For a boil in the bag chocolate pudding.
Chocolate pudding.
Aye.
If only there was some custard to go with it.
Well, there isn't.
I know.
Aye.
But, or even a bit of ice cream, but I think that's pushing it a bit too much, isn't it?
Aye. I've also got 4 scones, a bag of Marmite peanuts, about 3 flapjacks, and a granola bar, and I need them all eaten by tomorrow because there's no way I'm bringing them back down.
Well, you're going to have to eat them because I won't be eating all of that lot.
Well, I'll have to give some to the sheep because I'm not carrying them. Anyway, I don't think I'm going to bother bringing you back to watch us eating a boil in the bag chocolate pudding, so I think we'll say night, God bless.
Night night.
Nighty night. Morning. It's about 20 past 6. Weather's not very good. It's funny how the weatherman always gets it right when the weather's crap, isn't it? So I slept all right from about, I don't know, 11 till 3, and needed a wee. After that I've just been bitty, but then I think from about 5 it's been raining and the wind's been gusting. The tent's been, well, it's held up like, you know, but I think it's at its limit. Anyway, I think I might start getting packed up. It'll be full waterproof gear on the way home, I think. Probably won't do any definitely won't do any filming on the way home. So I'll probably check in one more time before we set off. Had a great time. Really hard walk yesterday, really hard. Really enjoyed last night with the steak and everything. And to be honest, it's the first proper weather I've had while camping, you know, like wind and horrible rain, so can't complain. This is what it's all about, isn't it? Like I say, I'll probably bring you back one more time before I set off. So finally, the weather gods have got us, got me comeuppance. So we've had to pack up everything in the tent. So I'm all packed up, ready to go. So the tent will be obviously the last thing to go down. We've just had a cold breakfast, just some water and some granola bars, dry scones, that kind of thing. And it's windy and horrible, so we're going to take an easier route or a safer route back via Patterdale, so it'll be a lot longer but not as steep to descend or no more climbing either. But we're not in any hurry anyway, you know. We'd rather be safe than sorry. And we've got all day. We're staying at the campsite again tonight, so when we get back we can get all of our wet gear sorted out and whatnot. Anyway, I think I'll sign off today. So I'll sign off at this point anyway. So I've had a great time. So that's another wild camp. Really enjoyed it.
the weather makes it much more exciting, really. And hopefully I'll see you soon. Okay, remember, like, subscribe, much appreciated. If you've got any comments or any questions or any advice, that'll be much appreciated. And I'll see you soon.